1400 years ago, a man was sent on a mission. Today, 1.7 billion people around the globe follow his message. A man of true love and character, delivering the most profound message.
His face was like a moon on Laylat al-Badr, and his hair was neither straight nor curly. It was wavy, it was middle. He didn't speak slow and he didn't speak fast. He spoke in a moderate tone. He had a full beard and his eyes were very dark. The upper part of his nose was aquiline, so he had a beautiful nose that had like a bridging.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muslims in Australia express their love for the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in all walks of life in many diverse ways. Let's go and find out how they express their love.
My heart is so full of longing. I wish to be close to my beloved.
One of the characters of the Prophet ﷺ that has really helped me working, especially working here at the UMA Center, is the Rasul ﷺ. He was always there for the companions. Anything they needed, anything they wanted, the Rasul ﷺ was there. If he was able to help them, he would help them. And this is one of my aims here working at the UMA Center, is to help the brothers as much as I can. As much as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows me to, I'm here to help them, inshallah.
The Prophet ﷺ's honesty and trustworthiness was a significant part of his character. As an accountant, dealing with people on a daily basis, being honest is probably the most important principle.
Uni life for a young Muslim growing up in Australia is very challenging. My love for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has given me the confidence and ability to express my deen. For example, growing my beard and wearing my sunnah cap.
His character, he had wide shoulders, big body, mashallah, like he's a strong man, and we want to be like him. We want to be strong, we want to be fit, we want to be ready for anything.
The character of the Prophet, peace be upon him, has encouraged me to work with the youth and dedicate my time and effort to raise them into leaders of the next generation.
The Prophet ﷺ's character was such that he was able to recognize the strengths and the weaknesses of his companions. And as such, I also recognize the strengths and the weaknesses of my students. And this has allowed me to pave the way for my students for their future.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was sent to us to show us how to deal with people, how to treat people, how to deal with trade, how to be fair, how to not to overcharge or undercharge, or all the rulings of Islam.
As the Prophet ﷺ did, he surrendered himself to children. So I realized that I should give my children more of my time and spend time with them. Give them my ears for them to listen to them and enjoy every moment with them like the Prophet ﷺ told us to do.
Sending blessings on Muhammad. Oh, Taiba, your breeze is so blessed. Indeed.
Wallahi, the first time I saw the Prophet ﷺ's grave, knowing that the Rasul ﷺ is in front of me, basically not even 10 meters away, and giving him salam, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and knowing that he returns that salam, wallahi, I can't explain the feeling of, you learn about the life of the Prophet ﷺ, and you're in the area where it all, it all flourished. SubhanAllah, the feeling I can't describe, wallahi, it's just, I can't describe it, man.
The overwhelming feeling that that's the Prophet, that's the man that's been sent to us to make the finest example. There's no words can explain that he's there. You read it in the Quran, you read the Seerah, we say his name almost every day, inshallah, and I can't explain to you that it's actually real. The Prophet is real.
You think to yourself that when you make salams to the Prophet and he returns your salam, how between hundreds and thousands of people you're going to be recognized, but subhanAllah, that's a miracle of it.
I teach English, and until this day I still can't find the words to describe that feeling of joy, of happiness, of contentment, that you know that the person who died for your sake is sitting in front of you, is lying in front of you, and you owe everything that you have in your life to him and Allah.
حبك يا رسول الله حبا تغلغل في الجوارح.
Knowing that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam cried to meet me has given me the motivation to implement his sunnah in my life so that I can cry for him and drink from his hands in Jannah bi'idhnillah.
It makes me feel more motivated to want to work harder for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to meet him.
When we hear about the Prophet ﷺ being infallible of sin, and yet he cried to meet his brothers and sisters, this makes me feel like I have shortcomings towards the Prophet ﷺ. If this is a man who's crying the days and the nights to meet over 1.7 billion Muslims around the world, and I'm one Muslim that can't even cry over one man sometimes.
Makes me feel happy and sad at the same time that I'm not doing enough for this ummah.
It makes me very honored and very special as an individual, knowing that he would stay up the night crying to meet me personally.
If you think about it, that he cried just to meet us and save us from the hellfire and let us drink from his hand and take us to the Jannah. We should be thinking of him 24/7. We should be loving him 24/7. We should be acting like him 24/7. We should be imitating him 24/7. What better man to imitate?
It's a feeling that you can't really explain, because the first time I heard that, you just actually sit and take it in and you just cry, because we owe so much to the Prophet ﷺ and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then it realizes how much we lack.
Wow. When I say the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm going to thank him for giving me the most complete way of life.
What would I do when I first see the Prophet is probably give my salams. I'll be very ecstatic and happy to see him, knowing what his journey was, knowing what he did for myself and for other people. If I could hug him, I would hug him. If I could kiss his feet, I would kiss his feet.
Probably cry. Yeah, most probably cry.
The only thing that I would probably be able to say about seeing the Prophet ﷺ is that when I will see him, I would be so overwhelmed and so overfilled with emotions that those emotions would only be able to translate to tears of happiness and joy.
I want to give him a big hug, man.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say hug him. It'll be an overwhelming experience, definitely. Completely unbelievable, because it's like a dream. I even hope to see him in my dreams, and that hasn't happened. So, inshallah, I can't even imagine. Maybe just fall to my knees out of astonishment.
That's how I feel, really. I'll just hug him for eternity. I don't know. I'll never let him go. It'll be the best feeling ever. How can I explain to you?
I love you, O Prophet of Allah.
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 I love you, O Prophet of Allah. I love you, O Prophet of Allah.